What's going on, guys? Today is Wednesday, July 6th, 2022, and what a Wednesday it has become. I have just found out that there was an explosion at the Georgia Guidestones. Guys, if you don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, I will be happy to tell you. It is basically America's Stonehenge. It's what's been dubbed America's Stonehenge. And what that means is it's a bunch of stones placed there, and people don't know who or what put it up there, who financed it. It's a big conspiracy, a big mystery. But let me go ahead and give you some details about this, because I'm going to dive right into this bitch. It's very interesting to me, and hopefully the story develops as time goes on. As of right now, we have no suspects. We have nobody taking responsibility for this. There's been no injuries, no accidents, no deaths, so that's a positive. I myself am very happy about this. I always thought this was a very satanic sculpture, or whatever you want to call it, creation, satanic thing, and I thought it should have been taken down years ago. But here's some quick little details about it, right? Again, it is located in the eastern part of Georgia, near the South Carolina border. Right? No one knows who paid for the actual construction of the Georgia Guidestones. Right? No one really knows what the strange messages meant. I mean, we have an idea, and as I'm going, as I read these facts to you, you kind of can get make your own assumption. But me personally, I believe this was an evil statue, evil structure. And again, it's not completely destroyed. There's many pillars, and just one pillar, from what I'm understanding, was demolished. Some people are saying it was an earthquake that hit it. Some people are saying God struck lightning and hit it. God works in mysterious ways. Some people say that it was someone who set off an explosion, or a bunch of people who set off an explosion. We don't know for sure. But like I've always said, God works in mysterious ways. The powers that be, he doesn't really make his own decision, like not his own decision. He empowers other people to do his bidding. And at times that, it is what it is. Again, I feel like this should have been done a long time ago. It should have been dismantled and destroyed back the same year it was created. But I digress. Let me go on and tell you what the Georgia Guidestones are all about. So now they're almost twice as tall as Stonehenge. Nearly 250,000 pounds of granite was used to make them, which is not easy, not cheap. Right? The stones have 10 messages inscribed on them, and over time, these messages have been defaced. Somebody wrote "fuck NWO" on it. Some people put some QAnon messages on it, spray painted all over this shit. But they always clean them and keep it. I don't know why. I don't know who's fucking maintaining this shit. Who's cutting the grass? Who's fucking maintaining and cleaning this shit? They should just fucking demolish it. But whatever. I'll go on. It just frustrates me. I'm so irritated by it, because again, here's a structure that, once I tell you what's on it, I believe you guys will be on the same page as me. Once you hear this evil shit that's on here, you'll be like, why is this shit in existence? Here it goes. The main message, and this is word for word, quote, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So in my mind, they're already talking about depopulation. This sculpture is saying maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That's my assumption. That's what I'm gathering from that. What do you guys think? If you read that shit, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, you'd immediately say, okay, well, they basically want to keep population low, probably so you can control. The smaller the population, the easier it is to control these people, right? Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Listen to that carefully. Guide reproduction wisely. What have we been debating about? What have we been Roe v. Wade? What have we been talking about? Protesting about? We've been protesting and in the streets about abortion. Here it is on the Guidestones. Guide reproduction wisely. Maybe the perpetrators who did this had a religious belief, or maybe they're pro-life and they said, you know what, we got to take this shit down, or or maybe, pro-choice or whatever the case may be. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Let's see. Unite humanity with a living new language, which is very interesting because if you remember, what's his name? I forget the politician's name, and a lot of politicians have been saying this in the news. We have to start a new world order. We have to have a one world government. We have to welcome the new liberal order. They keep mentioning new world order, new world order. Well, here it is. Unite humanity, which means all the people on the earth with a one living new language. That sounds like some NWO shit to me. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. That can be taken many different ways. So I'll leave that up to you to decide how you want to take that, because it's a whole new envelope. I can go down for another 30 minutes about that. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. It sounds good. But if you break it down, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Fair laws according to who? Fair laws according to their narrative. Fair laws according to what they believe is fair. What's fair for them? I don't know. That's up to debate, right? How are you going to talk about bringing down a population of 500 million, then talk about reproduction, and say you have to have fair courts and fair, protect people? How do you protect people and nations? You know how you protect people and nations? Maybe they're talking about gun control. Maybe you know how they always spin it and say, oh, if we have less guns, we'll be able to protect the people and nations with fair laws and just courts. We'll protect you guys. Don't worry. You don't need guns. Let us control it. Maybe that's where this is going. And maybe these people who attempted to blow up the entire thing or blow up that one stone, maybe that's why they did it. Maybe to destroy this shit from, coming to fruition. Maybe. Again, only one pillar was destroyed, and I believe there's more than one pillar. I believe there's like 5, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 total. But I will continue on, and hopefully I'll we'll get to that part soon. This is just crazy. I'm like, man, I've been waiting for this fucking destruction of this fake ass Stonehenge since I first heard about it in the 90s. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. So how do you avoid petty laws and useless officials? By having a one world government. Balance personal rights with social duties. Balance personal rights. So what are your personal rights? Freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of religion. Balance that with social duties. So are they saying that's open to interpretation also. Social duties. Social duties. Does that mean like as long as you are with the narrative, as long as you're cool with the narrative, you're allowed to have your personal rights? Is that what they're saying? I don't know. Again, open to interpretation, but it's very interesting how things are developing. And I truly believe, I'm kind of a conspiracy person on this. I do believe that everything is in motion for a reason. They tend to do things, if you notice, if you look at history, things just seem to work out, unfortunately, for them. Now, unfortunately, 9/11 happened, Freedom of Information Act came out, and here we are with this nonsense. Now, we have this administration in the office, and I can't even say certain things right now, otherwise I'm banned from platforms, which is, again, kind of crazy in my opinion, but I'll go on. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. I don't know what the hell that means. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Maybe someone else, if you guys know, hit me up in the description. Hit me up in the comment section. Subscribe, like, share. Let me know. What's your interpretation to all of this? I would love to hear. And also, last one, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. And that's, again, interesting. What are we all talking about? Well, we got to go solar. We got to go wind. We got to go, renewable energy because of the nature of climate change. We have to keep the earth the way it is. Although, making a windmill spends so much carbon and so much harmful shit goes into the air to create a windmill that no matter if the windmill survived its entire lifetime, it still will not recoup the energy used to create it. Meaning that it's fucking burning more, it's making more pollution to create one windmill than that windmill will create free energy. It doesn't make any sense to do so, but they push this narrative that we need to have windmills and solar and all this shit. Be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature. They say it twice. These 10 messages are written on the Guidestones in 8 different languages, people. Those languages are English, Swahili, Russian, Spanish, Sanskrit, Hebrew, Arabic, and Chinese. Again, no one knows who paid for this construction. As the rumor goes, as the legend goes, an elegant, well-spoken, well-dressed, gray-haired man identified himself only as R.C. Christian. The initials R.C. Christian appeared at a granite company in nearby Elberton, Georgia, one day requesting a quote on the project. Figuring he was some nut, the granite specialist purposely claimed a ridiculous price. It's going to cost whatever amount, some crazy number. Figuring Mr. R.C. Christian would just scoff it off and just walk away. But instead, R.C. Christian, the so-called person, the only way he identified himself as, agreed to the price. Allegedly, he literally had a briefcase of cash, old school, allegedly. Opened this fucking briefcase of cash and was like, here you go. Some people suspect the Rosicrucian Order, I don't know what that is, financed the project, since Rose Cross Christian, aka Christian Rosencreuz, was the founder of the mystical society, the Rosicrucian Order. Many suspect that the Rosicrucians were financed, the building of the Georgia Guidestones. That's what this article says. I don't know if it's true. Others suspected that Ted Turner financed the project, since Ted Turner of CNN fame is located a mere 100 miles away in Atlanta, and since many of his stated globalist goals reflect the message of the Georgia Guidestones. It has also been suggested that he is the mystery patron behind the giant granite slabs. I don't know. The project's builders had to sign a legal agreement to never reveal the identity of the financiers. They also swore to destroy all legal papers regarding the Guidestones' construction once the project was finished. This is all, you can look this all up. This is legit online. This is what they're saying happened. Again, no one knows for sure, but it's a consistent story amongst many websites. The message of the Georgia Guidestones seems to call for at least 90% of the Earth's population to be wiped out. The passage about maintaining humanity at a population of 500 million or less would require a massive dying off of humanity, the likes of which we've never seen. Keep in mind, this is, of course, many conspiracy theorists are alleging whoever financed the Guidestones are in cahoots with the evil New World Order to extensively depopulate the planet. I mean, it kind of adds up, guys. What do you think? I mean, think about it. We have all these viruses, supposedly, allegedly man-made in a lab, right? Somewhere. They always come out. These random viruses come out. And people are dropping, unfortunately. RIP, right? Seriously. They're passing away. And, we have this new thing that they just came out with now saying it's called SADS, Sudden Adult Death Syndrome, where people just, unfortunately, pass away in their sleep. Or they could just be playing a game of soccer and just pass and just, die on the soccer field. Just healthy young adults, teenagers, people in their 20s, early 20s are just passing out on work or in their sleep, and they're calling it sudden adult death syndrome. No one's saying how this is happening. It just happens. Is this part of the agenda that these Guidestones are, pushing for? Yoko Ono, remember her? Called the Guidestones, quote, a stirring call to rational freedom. Apparently the Beatles' widow is fine with seeing 6.5 million humans wiped out. Not me saying it, that's what the article says. 2008, again, they spray painted the message, someone spray painted the message, death to the New World Order on there. Don't know who cleaned it. No one ever talks about who's fucking cleaning. I'm assuming the city or the state is covering the cost of maintaining these things. I mean, someone has to clean it, cut the grass, all the shit around it, right? About the New World Order thing, whoever paid astronomical sum to build a giant set of tombstones calling for massive depopulation, a single world language, and a world court definitely didn't see a use for national borders. Interesting. What are we dealing with right now? In America, we basically have open borders. The Mexican border, people are just come on in. Right? What's happening right now with Ukraine? The people in Ukraine are just going into other countries. Just come on in. We need to have open borders because they're suffering, or what's the word that they're using? The refugees. Political dissidents, whatever it's called. The Guidestones were designed to withstand catastrophic events, such as a world war that wiped out 6.5 billion people. As the world lay in ashes, somewhere R.C. Christian and his cohorts could take a little comfort that at least their giant creepy tombstone was still standing way out in rural Georgia. Again, this is this person's article about this shit. I'll go on. Some claim that it's in satanic in origin. That's what I believe. I believe this is a satanic shit. This includes right-wing pundit Mark Dice, who claims they are of deep satanic origin. The R.C. Christian was a member of the Luciferian secret society, which also has ties to the New World Order. Others have referred to the 10 messages inscribed on the Guidestones as the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist, which, if you think about it, would kind of make sense. You lower the population, one world government, one world court, control the people. Others claim they were intended to be seen by the survivors of a nuclear war, since the Georgia Guidestones were built in 1979 at the height of the Cold War between the USA and the Soviet Union that many thought would inevitably result in a nuclear apocalypse. I don't believe so. I think that's a good idea, but then why have a one world government on there? Why would you write that? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you could put that anywhere. And the design of it's very, very satanic, the way it's set up. Of course, I'll put a picture up. You guys can check it out yourself. Make your own determination on that. But a mysterious time capsule is allegedly buried nearby. A tablet erected near the Guidestones claimed that a time capsule is buried beneath the tablet, although there is no proof the capsule really exists and no suggestion of what is written in it. Let's unearth that motherfucker. Why not? Why the fuck are we not unearthing this shit? Who cares? These stones do not fucking mean, have any kind of value as far as historical value. Right? There's no faces of presidents on there. There's no generals on there. There's no fucking, oh my goodness, we're I posted this on Twitter. Why are we fucking tearing down statues and burning fucking office buildings, burning buildings like police stations, and we leave these fucking stones up which just spit hatred, which just spew out satanic shit, like reduce the population and have a one world government? It doesn't make any fucking sense unless that's the plan. Unless this is something that they're aiming for. I don't know. Here's another suggestion. R.C. Christian presented builders with a shoebox containing a wooden model of the monument, along with 10 pages of extremely detailed specifications. Many of the specs involved using the Guidestones as an astronomical guide, as explained in the next few pages. I'm going to go over that. They're saying that the Guidestones were purposely designed to track the sun's east-west migration year-round. So if you can kind of remember, if you look at it as a satanic ritual, right? Satanic things. The pyramids are lined up with Orion's belt. There's a lot of things that line up with the stars. Maybe they're purposely aligning this up similarly, like Stonehenge, in a way to, again, could be to summon the Antichrist. Who knows? Let's continue. During an equinox or solstice, those who stand at the west side of a mail slot carved into the Guidestones can see the sunrise over the horizon. Maybe it's for some kind of worshiping or, sacrificial reason. I don't know why they built this. They built this in the 1980s, 1979, 1980. Who's sacrificing people then? I don't know. I don't want to know. The 4 outer stones are positioned to mark the limits of the 18.6-year lunar declination cycle. I have no clue what that is. An eye-level hole drilled into the center stone permits viewers to locate the North Star. So these were very scientifically created stones. It wasn't like some guy just put up like 4 fucking stones or 5 stones and was like, I'm going to write this shit in 10 languages, all these rules, whatever, 8 languages, and, all this shit, and let it go. No, they specifically put holes, and they measured it, and they did it with the stars, and aligned it, this and that, and they had to put it in a certain way, and they had all the specs ready for the builders. Like, here you go. Here's the money. Here's the specs. So they did their time. They did the science. They did their due diligence. So it's just crazy to me that it's still fucking standing. Why are we keeping this up here? Like the pyramids, I could see that we keep them up. We maintain those. We try to, because that's literally history. The Egyptians, that's beautiful. That's, as far as we know, there's nothing written in there that says fucking depopulate the planet, control the people, one world government. It doesn't say that in there from what I understand, from what we know, from the hieroglyphics. But I don't know. This guy fucking, whoever built this shit, put it in 10 different languages, so then whatever fucking way you want to read this shit, you can read it. Like, it's, I don't know, to me it's absurd to keep it up. So check this out. Here's more shit, right? A small hole drilled through the capstone serves as a sundial. At noon every day, a reading of where the sunbeam hits the center column allows one to pinpoint the exact day of the year. So again, this is not just some random stone they just put there. Stones they just put there. In his film Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, Alex Jones claims, shout out to Alex Jones, claims the Guidestones represent a genocidal depopulation program sponsored by the world's financial elites. I gotta check this movie out. Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. Alex Jones has been wrong once or twice, but in my opinion, he's been right a lot more than he's been wrong. And those odds are very good odds. So, unfortunately, he may be right again. And I'm saying unfortunately because it's not good. Alex Jones claims, again, the Guidestones represent a genocidal depopulation program sponsored by the world financial elites, meaning like people who have money, banks, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm in agreement with him. I agree. I believe that's the truth. I think that's what's really happening here. Georgia Guidestones have been called America's most mysterious monument. In 2009, a man stole a 6-inch cube of granite from the top of the Guidestones. 4 years later, police arrested William Jeremy Ellis in the middle of the night as he was trying to replace the cube of granite he'd stolen. He explained to the police that he didn't want that weight anymore. Okay? A tablet in front of the monument declares, quote, "Let these be Guidestones to an age of reason." End quote. Let these be Guidestones to an age of reason. An age of reason. It's kind of hard to be reasonable when you're talking about wiping out 90% of the population. Kind of agree with that too. So, I mean, that's it. So somebody literally blew up one stone. And shout out to my girl over on Twitter at Mondary Sharon. I'm saying that shit wrong. I don't think so. It's MondarySharyn. Mondary Sharon. She's the best. She sent me this link to a Newsweek article that just came out talking about the explosion. So the bomb team actually responded. Now, a lot of people were saying that it was an earthquake, but the bomb squad's going to show up. So therefore, I don't think they're going to look at it as an earthquake. They're saying here an explosive device is suspected to have been used to cause part of the 19-foot high Georgia Guidestones granite monument in Elberton to crumble on Wednesday. According to the GBI, not the FBI, the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. That's a new one. The preliminary information indicates that unknown individuals detonated an explosive device at around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, July 6th. The GBI said in a statement. Elbert County Sheriff's Office personnel responded to discover the explosion destroyed a large portion of the structure. The monument, often referred to again as American Stonehenge, made up of several rock slabs, I believe granite is what it is, that are astronomically aligned and inscribed in 8 languages. 8 languages, this one says, that depict messages that have been prompted many conspiracy theories. So this one said 8 languages. I thought it was 10 languages in the other article. Let me double check it here. 10 messages written in 8 languages. They're correct. 10 messages written in 8 languages. Okay. Where was I? One part, again, calls for keeping the world population at 500 million or below. Another message calls for people to guide reproduction wisely. Again, I firmly believe somebody did this shit because of what's happening in the world today. They want these stones to crumble because they believe that this is the way that we're going. We're going along the path of these Guidestones, and we should not be following these Guidestones because, in my opinion, and this person's opinion, or these people, or this group's opinion, I think we're on the same page as Alex Jones and feel like this is fucking evil as fuck. Plain and simple evil as fuck. And it didn't take long for politicians to jump on board. And here goes Candace Taylor, a Republican who ran in Georgia's gubernatorial primary against Brian Kemp. She wrote on Twitter today, "God is God all by himself. He can do anything he wants to do. That includes striking down satanic Guidestones." Again, God works in mysterious ways. It's possible. Again, he could have also sent messengers to do his bidding. He's known to do that. Let's continue. Another Twitter post on Wednesday. Reports are saying it was an earthquake. Again, see? But be not deceived. This is a sign from God intervening on our behalf. Down with the globalist and the New World Order. And of course, we have drone footage as well. Whoever did this, bless you, said this one person. That's kind of funny. Oh, Dr. Pennsylvania Adams. Okay. And it goes on to say this is not the first time the thing has been attacked. I told you that before, how they've been spray painted over a number of years, erected around 1980. Yeah. So, should they be taken down? Abso-fucking-lutely they should be taken down. Here's another one here. Tweet in May, back in May, Candace Taylor wrote, "I am the only candidate bold enough to stand up to the Luciferian cabal. Elect me as governor of Georgia, and I will bring the satanic regime to its knees and demolish the Georgia Guidestones." So my girl, and I'm saying my girl because she's with me, Candace Taylor, says demolished. She would have demolished the Georgia Guidestones if she was elected, and this was back in May. Wow. That was May 2nd, 2022. I don't think she had a part in this explosion, but it is interesting, though, that she, why is this still standing in Georgia? It's just so evil. Georgia, from my understanding, I thought was one of those religious states that really cared about, religion. To have something like this that's clearly, in my opinion, very satanic, I'm surprised it hasn't been more than vandalized. I'm surprised it took this long for an explosion to crumble one slab. But we'll see as time goes on. Maybe others will pitch in the effort and tear it down. I mean, I stand by my statement of they're willing to tear down statues and Confederate generals or regular generals or presidents to tear down all that shit. They'll tear down burn down police buildings and office buildings and stores and restaurants, all this shit. But these satanic shit fucking stones are still up. I don't know, guys. Like I said, if you have any more information or more details, or you want to just send me some private messages, hit me up on Twitter at CJ Bronson Show. Check me out. I'm also on TikTok. Believe it or not, I said, let me just throw some stuff out on TikTok. Maybe I'll get some views and get some more people to the channel. So hit me up again on TikTok. Same thing, CJ Bronson Show. YouTube as well. And I guess I'll, like, comment, subscribe. Tip your Uber or Lyft drivers, your DoorDash drivers. We need the money. Gas is crazy expensive out here, and it seems like they don't give a shit. I just saw an article real quick before I started this episode saying that Joe Biden sent oil reserves to China. What the fuck? I don't know. I was going to talk about that today, but I thought this was way more interesting. So, if you want to talk about that, hit me up on Twitter. We'll talk about it. Love you guys as always. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.